ever since Iowa.
Why?
And I find that, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I find it curious because it is unprecedented in history. I don't understand it. And, you know, between my opponent and his camp and some in the media, there has been this urgency to end this. And, you know, historically that makes no sense. So I find it a bit of a mystery.
You don't buy the party unity argument?
I don't, because again, I've been around long enough. You know, my husband did not wrap up the nomination in 1992 until he won the California primary somewhere in the middle of June, right? We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California. You know, I don't understand it. And, you know, there's lots of speculation about why it is, but...
What's your speculation?
I don't know. I find it curious, and I don't want to attribute motives or strategies to people because I don't really know. But it's a historical curiosity to me.
Finally tonight, as promised, a special comment on Senator Clinton's assassination remark to the editorial board of the Argus Leader newspaper of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Once again, it was this. Asked if her continuing fight for the nomination against Senator Obama hurts the Democratic Party, she replied, quote, "I don't, because again, I've been around long enough. You know, my husband did not wrap up the nomination in 1992 until he won the California primary somewhere in the middle of June, right? We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California. You know, I just don't understand it. You know, there's lots of speculation about why it is." The comments were recorded, and we showed them to you earlier, and they are online as we speak. She actually said those words. Those words, Senator, you actually invoked the nightmare of political assassination. You actually invoked the specter of an inspirational leader at the seeming moment of triumph for himself and a battered nation yearning to breathe free, silenced forever. You actually used the word assassination in the middle of a campaign with a loud undertone of racial hatred and gender hatred and political hatred. You actually used the word assassination in a time when there is a fear, unspoken but vivid and terrible, that our again troubled land and fractured political landscape might target a black man running for president, or a white man, or a white woman. You actually used those words in this America, Senator, while running against an African-American man whom, against the death threat started the moment he declared his campaign. You actually used those words in this America, Senator, while running to break your greatest glass ceiling and claiming there are people who would do anything to stop you. You, Senator, never mind the implications of using the word assassination in any context relative to Senator Obama. What about you? You cannot say this. The references, said her spokesperson, were not in any way weighted. The allusions, said Mo Alethe, are, quote, historical examples of the nominating process going well into the summer, and any reading into it beyond that would be inaccurate and outrageous. I'm sorry, there is no inaccuracy. Firstly, she has previously bordered on the remarks she made today, then swerved back from them and the awful skid they represented. She said in an off-camera interview with Time on March 6th, primary contests used to last a lot longer. We all remember the great tragedy of Bobby Kennedy being assassinated in June in L.A. My husband didn't wrap up the nomination in 1992 until June, also in California. Having a primary contest go through June is nothing particularly unusual. We will see how it unfolds as we go forward over the next 3 to 4 months. In retrospect, we failed her when we did not call her out for that remark, dry and only disturbing inside the pages of a magazine. But somebody obviously warned her of the danger of that kind of rhetoric. After the Indiana primary on May 7th, she told supporters at a Washington hotel, sometimes you got to calm people down a little bit, but if you look at a successful presidential campaigns, my husband did not get the nomination until June of 1992. I remember tragically when Senator Kennedy won California near the end of that process. And at Shepherdstown, West Virginia, on the same day, she again avoided the word assassination. You know, I remember very well what happened in the California primary in 1968. As you know, Senator Kennedy won that primary. On March 6th, she had said assassinated. By May 7th, she had avoided it. Today, she went back into an awful well.